We're making videos, guys. And on today's video, we're going to be covering why we're making videos in the first place, what kind of videos we're going to be making in the future.
And what else are we covering?
That's his point to do.
That's my point. And I forgot my lines.
What are we doing, though?
We're making a video about why we're making videos, or all of it is about, and we're also going to show the introduction.
That's the point.
To the floating. If you've never seen the floating before, the floating's pretty sweet.
So we'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side. So the videos that we're going to be making are just going to be things related to floating, things that we think are important, things we just want to talk about. We didn't have the internet and social media in the same way we had even 10, 15 years ago. Even 10 years ago, YouTube wasn't the same, and Facebook wasn't the same, and Instagram was the same. All these different platforms didn't exist in the same way they did now. So it's a really easy way to be able to kind of find your audience, but more importantly, people that want to watch what we're actually putting out.
We're actually in a really cool position that we can use cameras and lights and all these things to actually make good professional grade or just quality information to share with everybody, and then just take it and like put it
Spread it to the world.
Spread it to the world.
Spread it like jam on a bread sandwich to the world.
A bread sandwich.
Yeah, I think that's just called a jam sandwich.
I don't really have jam sandwiches all that much.
This is going great.
This is gonna go flying right into it.
Yeah, last week, probably use that video.
I think it's better than just like tons of awkward silence.
Yeah,
so it's good.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
There's gonna be your standard like talking about the basics, claustrophobia, being bored,
what floating is.
Just what floating is in general.
Yeah, why people do it on like the professional side. Yeah. Potentially why people, well, not potentially, but most likely why people do it on like the trippy kind of like, whoa, explorative, like psychonaut type of side as well too. So we've seen both.
There's a lot of different videos that we can make just based on like normal questions we get day to day.
Yeah.
But then after that, we can start to get, or just like slowly incorporate other videos of like less common questions, but things that might be interesting or entertaining. I think you'll get a lot of entertainment. Some of the videos might not be as educational, but
no.
Yeah.
But we're trying.
There's not a lot of things we're always confident about. That is one of them.
That's definitely one of them.
You're going to get some weird stuff.
I actually like what you said. I like what you said the first time we did this video, which was, it was something along the lines of like, we'll be really professional at first, but then like 2 minutes later, it's gonna be really questionable.
There'll be some very strong professional points that people will be like, damn, those guys know what they're doing. And then 2 minutes later, be like, damn.
I would never go there.
I need to be careful what I watch.
I need to be careful of my life choices.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a really important point to make about how, just like about who we are, in case you don't know us. But
you might think we're all professional and fine-tuned until we're not.
Yeah, which is most of the time.
Yeah, which you'll get a little taste of it. I think my favorite part of the video is it actually got to the point where it was like, and that's where the 2-minute marker hits.
It's getting kind of weird then.
Yeah. See, there's that 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. But I also think that is part of our charm.
Yeah. Charm.
And that's what you'll love to get used to.
Charm.
Or just stop watching. But you know what?
Charm.
We'll love you anyways.
That's right.
Charm.
Charm.
Cool. Well, are we gonna go look in the back then? Show them the rooms.
You want to show them the rooms?
Well,
you want to show them the
you're
floating
gonna show
is?
them the rooms.
I'm gonna show you what floating is.
Yeah.
In case you don't know what it is or you've never seen it before,
you've floated but you've never floated with us.
Yeah, we're just gonna give you kind of brief description of what a float tank is, kind of how it works, and what the benefits are. So we'll probably go a little bit back and forth on that. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll jump to the back and then we'll give you a little show.
An only disclaimer is that we just have a different setup than another place. Everyone's different. Everyone, I think there's a lot of places that do it really well, but just as an FYI, our setup is just going to be our setup, and it's not what you're always going to see everywhere else. And JP will kind of explain that in more detail.
Yeah, like a float studio is a float studio, but they're different. A float studio is a float studio, but they differ. No.
They range?
They range in difference.
You have different equipment, you have pods and tanks and rooms and open rooms and whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of different names and stuff. So we'll just show you how we do it. And then, of course,
We won't show you how other people do it.
because we can't do that. That's impossible.
Exactly. Not today.
That was good for a while.
So, this is a float room. This is a float tank, and all a float tank is like a fancy bathtub that contains water mixed with magnesium sulfate, also known as Epsom salt. There's about 1,200 pounds of Epsom salt per tank. That's about 500 kilograms if you love metric like me, mixed with about 450 liters of water. And if you don't like math, basically all that is water mixed with salt makes the water more dense. So when you lie down on here, you float on the surface like a cork. The cool thing about the tank is that it's actually heated to skin neutral temperature, meaning that when you're lying down in here, you actually will lose all feeling of your body and you'll feel like your mind is floating around in outer space. So most people tend to actually use float tanks for relaxation reasons or meditation purposes. So in another video, we'll actually go into the whole benefit and the whole reason of what a float tank is and everything. But for now, we just want to show you the basics. So we're gonna actually swing back to the front, probably not use this part of the clip, and Matt's gonna give you a little bit of an outro.
All right, so there you have it. A little sneak peek at what our float rooms look like, as well as a little insight on why we're making these videos, what kind of videos we're going to be making, as well as just want to thank you for all your support for actually watching these videos. And if you're looking forward to seeing some more, like, follow, and subscribe, do all of the things, and just hit us up in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions for videos. That rhymed, and that's super awesome.